All right. Three interior angles of a triangle are A, and B. B equals 80. What is the value of A? So we know that 180 equals 2A plus 80, right? We have this one, and this one. This one we know is 80. So we say 100 equals 2A, A equals 50. So x is between 0 and 1. Which of the following is greatest? So 1 minus x is going to be some number ranging from 1 minus 0 to 1 minus 1, which is going to be 1 to 0, so it's actually 0 to 1. 1 over x is going to be any number from 1 over 1 to 1 over a really small number, which is going to be quite a large number. So I'm thinking this will be the right answer. The negative of that just goes in the other direction, so this one here is still bigger. X is bounded by going up to 1, and x squared also is bounded by going as high as 1. So really here, that is the answer. Which of the following is a multiple of 3, 5, and 7? Well, one thing that's important to note here is that we have primes here, so really you got to multiply them all out. So we're going to have 3 times 5 is 15, times 7, 35 is 105, I believe, which brings us to this one. Easy. A deluxe box of crayons is 10 more than a regular box. If the regular box contains M crayons, how many crayons do you have in 5 deluxe boxes? Well, you're going to have a deluxe box contains M plus 10, and there are 5 of those, which could also be seen as 5m plus 50. You're just distributing, which looks like this answer here. In the figure above, what is the value of x? Well, alright, so here we have 50, 90 plus something. Right, so 180 minus 90 minus 50 is going to be 40 degrees. Right, 180 minus 90 is 90, and then 90 minus 50 is 40. Alright, so if this here is 40, this is 90, and all of this here is 180, we have 180 minus 90 again minus 40 is going to then be 50, looks like. Okay, so 50 is here. 50 plus 30 is 80. Okay, so we have 180 minus 80 equals x, right? Because 180 equals 30 plus 50 plus x, right? You simplify it all out, you get it with this right here. So that means x is equal to 100, giving us this answer here. Which of the following could be true about the relationship between x and y? Alright, well, as 2 gets bigger here, this gets smaller. As this gets bigger, this gets smaller, which means it is inversely proportional. It is not directly proportional, because directly proportional means that they have to go up together. Directly proportional to the square of x, well, if we have sum multiplier. So if we have 1 over 2 squared times some coefficient equals 1/2. Oops, 1/2 is what I meant. Which means we would have 1/4 times a is 1/2, meaning that we would have approximately 2 coefficient here. If I then say 1/4 squared is times that same coefficient 2, we would end up with 1/16 times 2, which is actually equal to 1/8. And then here we have 1 over 6 squared times 2 equals 1 over 36 times 2, which actually is 1/18. So it is proportional to the inversely proportional to the square of x. Nope, that is wrong. It actually is y is inversely proportional to the square of x. They were tricking me here because they changed this one here, so I'm going to go with this answer here. The figure above shows the arrangement of 5 cages in the primate house at the zoo. Each cage can house 1 specimen of the 5 species. The lemur must be in a cage on one end. The tamarin must be in the center cage. If the capuchin must be, or capuchin, must be in the cage next to the macaque, and the tamarin must be next to the squirrel monkey. Alright, well, let's see, the lemur must be on one end. That is, otherwise things are fairly fluid here, so let's pretend that we have the lemur here on the first one, and then once we have placed this one here and we place the other primates, we're going to have a 2x multiplier because we could have picked the lemur to be on the E side. However, I believe that the arrangement of the other primates would have been the same regardless of whether you go to the beginning or the end. Alright, so each the lemur, okay, so we've taken care of that. The tamarin must be in the center cage, so if we have A, B, C, D, E, so tamarin there, that's the only spot where it can be, and there's only a 1x, 1 times multiplier because there's only one possibility there. So we've taken care of that. So if the tamarin must be, no, if the capuchin must be next to the macaque, which we haven't placed either one of them yet, then they have to be next to each other. If you were to put it here, then you would not be able to put the macaque next to it. So really, either we're going to have the capuchin here with the macaque here, or you're going to have the reverse, right? So we get a 2x multiplier there. And then whatever you do there, let's see, so the macaque and the capuchin, and the tamarin must be in the cage next to the squirrel monkey, right? But really, once you've placed these two guys, you don't really have a choice on the squirrel monkey anymore. It just has to go there. So it really just means we have 2 times 2 here, possibility, which gives us 4. Alright, h and b are constants. If the equation is true for all values of y, what is the value of b? Alrighty, well, let's try to simplify things here. We're going to say y squared minus 4h plus 4y minus hy equals y squared minus 2y plus b. Alright, well, these two here cancel. We can take this 2y over here to get 6y, because we're adding here. Gets rid of him, minus hy minus 4h equals b. Let's see here. Then to further, h and b are constants. So let's take y of 6 minus h equals 4h plus b. It's true for all values of y. So that really means, in order for this to be true, this has to equal, so this right here is a constant. Okay, so this is a fixed number. There's only one number here. As this thing here changes, if this here were anything other than 0, it would have to change numbers. So that means that 6 minus h equals 0, which means h equals 6. And so then all of this here has to be equal to 0. Right, so that means that all that is 0. 6 is h, or h is 6, so 6 times 4 is 24, plus b equals 0, which means that 24 equals minus b, or b equals minus 24, which is this answer here. Alright, if all of that is equal to 13, what is r? Well, here we can do 6 minus 3 is 3, r plus 4 over 2 is 13. Bring that over here to make 26. 3r equals, subtract that, we're going to get 22, which is r is 22 divided by 3, or 7.333.